Hi everyone, I'm Swathi from Indiahikes and you're watching Trek with Swathi. Today I'm going to be talking about these shoes I have in front of me. These are the MT100 leather waterproof boots by Decathlon. This is a one for women. We'll have a review on the one for men as well in a separate one, so I'm going to be talking just about this. Now here's something interesting I found. So I recently did a survey with our trekkers asking them which shoes do you use, because we see a lot of conversations about shoes, and what surprised me was a majority of them are talking about these shoes. These are the shoes they're using. That's the MT100 shoes. So obviously I was very curious why are people using these shoes. So I got these shoes, I tested these out myself, and I thought I'll run you through some of the pros and cons so that by the end of this video you can decide whether you want to invest in these or not. So let's get started. Let's start with the pros of the shoe. First, the most important thing on any of our treks is grip. So this shoe excelled in that area. This comes with a contact sole, that's what Decathlon calls it, and the lugs are quite deep, deeper than many other shoes that I've actually seen. So it works really well in terms of getting a good grip on any surface. In fact, I used it on very flat boulders while trekking around Bangalore, and I could go up and down boulders very comfortably, feeling like Spider-Man. So I felt like the grip on these shoes are very good. Even in snow, they perform really well. So this is a very good thing about the grip of the shoes. So that's definitely a plus point. The other thing is the cushioning in the shoe. So this comes with a bit of a thick midsole, which is fairly cushiony. So when you look for a good shoe, you don't want it to be too hard, you don't want it to be too soft either. You need it to be somewhere in between with a good balance, and this shoe has that exact balance. When you need it to flex, it flexes. When you need it to be very sturdy and protect your feet, it does that as well. So that is another plus point that the shoe has got going on. The third thing I'd say is the ankle support, because many times I myself faced this ankle twisting thing, and this shoe protected my ankles from twisting. It has got a good length, so it protects your ankle in almost any angle that it twists. Other than these three, the shoes have a lot of other good things going for it as well. One is the water resistance. So when you're trekking in rain, snow, or you're just jumping across puddles, water resistance becomes super important for a shoe like this. Now, I didn't get a chance to use it in snow myself, but I asked a lot of our trek leaders. I think at least 8 of our trek leaders use these shoes, and they've used it in snow and they're very happy with the water resistance. They've told me that water does not enter through the sides or the front of the shoe. Of course, you have to cover the mouth of the shoe with gaiters, but if you're doubling up with gaiters and using these in snow, then you've got a pretty good water resistant shoe. So in all of these areas, the shoe ticks all the boxes, and if you ask me, these are the 4 primary areas of grip, flexibility, ankle support and water resistance. It ticks all those boxes to the T. But there were some cons which I want to highlight as well. The first is a few people did talk about, and I felt it myself, a slight blister in your ankle area or the back of your foot just above your heel. I felt this after using it continuously for 12 hours, and there was a small blister beginning to turn up by the end of the day. This is something that can be managed if you wear a good pair of socks, good thick sports socks, which ideally come up above your shoes, and don't wear ankle length socks. But this can be managed, but there is a stitch running down the middle of the shoe at the back, which could cause these blisters at the back of the shoes. So it's important that you wear a good pair of cotton socks with these. Another area of issue was the breathability. Of course, if you're using this in the Himalayas, your feet are not sweating that much for you to face an issue. But if you're trekking in warmer regions, then your feet tend to sweat. And given that this is an entirely leather material, very strongly water resistant, the breathability is lesser than most other shoes I have used. So you will tend to feel that your feet are sweating, especially if you have more sweaty feet, you will feel that a lot wearing these shoes. So that is another con, I would say. Should you buy it? Should you not? I would say my first advice to any trekker is to rent shoes. This is what all of us tell trekkers. If you're trekking once a year or twice a year, it's better to rent shoes instead of buying shoes. Having said that, if you're trekking a lot more regularly, you're trekking in and around your city, you're trekking in the Himalayas very regularly, then it makes sense to invest in your own pair of shoes which you feel very comfortable with. Then I would say this is a good buy. At 5,500, I've noticed from my survey that most shoes cost between 4,000 to 6,000 rupees. Somehow it is less expensive for women than it is for men, at least somewhere we win. But I think it's a worthy investment if you're a very, very regular trekker. So that's my verdict on this Decathlon MT100. I think we will do another video comparing the MT100 with Trek 100. A lot of questions are around that topic, so we'll do another video on that. So stay tuned to our channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so that you're notified of our next few videos. That's all from me today. I'm Swathi from Indiahikes.